A very good morning, viewers, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network, where we are giving you latest trending news in the African continent. And we are in Malawi at this point in time, taking a look on a possible event of assassination which happened in the nation Malawi. Up until we get finer details which will convince us otherwise, we believe that this leader, Saulos Chilima, was taken away by detractors who never wanted to see a progressive Malawi. And we are digging deeper to see how Saulos Chilima was thinking, what was he thinking, how was he operating, and what was his vision, so as to understand what kind of a man was he. Let us delve into one of his interviews so and understand Vice President, the late Saulos Chilima.
President, in essence, we are saying, for all he wants, the president can be corrupt for as long as he's in office. Don't touch him or her. But when they come out of office, then you can touch them. And the president is allowed two conservative 5-year terms to make it 10 years if you're going to be successful. So if the president was a thief, okay, as we have seen in some cases, you are giving them a blank check to be stealing for 10 years, within which period they can't be asked any question. It's a very strange provision, and that's why some of us think that it must be scrapped. People must be investigated, regardless what position, whatever position they hold. I mean, a president, a vice, and they get tax-free benefits. Salaries are tax-free. Whatever you eat is taxpayers' money. And then on top of that, you must steal the same tax. And further to that, you're also immune. So you can steal freely for as long as you're president, and nobody will touch you. They only touch you when you're out of office. Ridiculous. I think that must be amended so that we start dealing with it. Remove that. Politically connected people get contracts. I was talking about the COVID, and nobody has come to contest this. You know that in the COVID, search for personal protection equipment, ministers were sourcing quotations. And where is it written anywhere that a minister is responsible for sourcing quotations for supplies? But why is that? It's because we have said the politically connected can benefit, and all they will say is this is a cabinet decision, and you have got no basis to go and question whether it was indeed a cabinet discussion. Who are you going to go and ask? And when instead the president has directed, do you have the president's phone number to confirm whether he has indeed directed or not? So chop some of the things that we can see, and then make sure that they don't have too many powers to continue doing certain things.
What Dr. Saulos Chilima said during his tenure as the vice president, he was still vice president when he said these words, and these are very, very powerful words. And a lot of people believe that this is the reason why they had to eliminate him. A lot of people believe that this is the reason why they had to take him out, because he was advocating for the presidential powers to be reduced, and it's believed that this didn't go well with a lot of people who wanted to have powers beyond. And what he raised is very important, because politicians are now behaving as if they are contractors. Contracts are now being given to politicians. They are now running countries the way they like it, and nobody cares about it. So you can actually see that it's very important to note that every person who is against corruption, this thing of corruption is not only in Zimbabwe. This thing of corruption is almost everywhere in Africa. And these are the issues he's raising. One of the most important issues is that when you are a president, you are untouchable. When you are a president, you are a king who will never be touched or who will never be questioned. But you can only have that in a country with strong institutions. For example, if you are living in a country with strong institutions, for example, in Zimbabwe, if we had strong institutions, you could have seen President Emmerson Mnangagwa being brought before a commission of impeachment to say, Mr. Mnangagwa, Chivayo is claiming to have ties with you, and Chivayo is very corrupt. Can you come and answer about your relations? Evidence will be brought to the court, to the impeachment commission, to see if President Mnangagwa is involved or not. He will be given a chance to defend himself, and if he is not found guilty, he will continue as president. If he is found guilty, or if he is found attached to corrupt activities and individuals, he would be fired. But that system is dead in Africa. A leader, a president who preside over dead institutions. The police will take directives directly from the president to ban other people's rallies. The police will take directives to go and arrest opponents, murder opponents, beat opponents. The military will shoot people, and nobody cares about it without any discretion. All those things will happen in a country, and nobody will hold anybody to account. The judges will continue to turn a blind eye on injustice happening in the country. The judges will continue to deliver politically motivated rulings. So this is very important. This is very important to note that these people will always be targeted because of their stance against corrupt rule, against looting, and against incompetency from the people who will be in authority. So it's very important to note that personally, I do not believe that Vice President Chilima died a normal death. Up to this day, I do not believe that it was an accident. I believe that there was foul play, and I urge the government of Malawi to investigate this, to institute a commission of inquiry, to look and see what is really happening there in Malawi. This is one of the videos of Chilima. He has been fighting for the people of Malawi to be recognized. He has been fighting for institutions in Malawi to be competent, to be independent, to save the people. This is the reason why he is hated, because he has been fighting fiercely. He refused to be involved in dirty things. He wanted to see things being done differently. But as usual, things are happening, and they will continue to silence those voices which are very important. So you'd see that he's a great leader. He was a great leader. And he will continue to be remembered by the people in Malawi. The people in Malawi are actually mourning him because of who he was. And they wished that he could have become a president. So you can actually see that this is something else. This is very important to know that someone says, when I heard that the airplane, its pilot was a woman, to my mind, I realized that that crash was planned, taking advantage of bad weather in Mzuzu and poor communication. So up to this day, we have not had a comprehensive report which would tell us what went wrong. There are reports that the black box, or the transponder, was missing, and we have not seen the government tackling that issue to deal with that issue. And this makes the people believe that indeed this man was taken out. So it's said. So the crew, there was pilot Colonel Owen Sambalopa, assisted by co-pilot Major Lawrence Selemani Ngwirinji, and together with the aircraft technician Major Wells Jordan Aiden. So this is the team which was there. This is the team. I think this was the pilot. This was the co-pilot, and this was the technician right there. These are the people who perished together with the vice president, and we do not know what really happened up to this day. Just imagine that the defense forces of Malawi had that outdated 35-year-old a plane. That outdated plane, you know, when you have outdated planes, it's better to use choppers. choppers are better. The reason why I say choppers are better is that when a chopper develops a fault, the chances of you being able to land it are high, especially here in Africa, where things are not of standard. The chances that you land it are high. And we have seen it happening in Zimbabwe. Several times, the chopper which carries the VVIPs has been grounded several times. He has had emergency landings several times in Zimbabwe. Kana chaiva chindege chimwe chiya dai kwakaita mariro kare kare, but because it was a chopper, they could try by all means possible to land it. But, this was an old, outdated plane, and putting the risk of these young people, the lives of these young people at risk. It's painful. Their families now, their wives and their children, they're now widows and orphans, just like that. And you see the government even failing to take care of their families. You see the government forgetting their families, yet they perished in service. That is very important to note. May their souls rest in peace. We continue to speak about the late vice president because he was standing for the poor. He was standing for the marginalized. And when he was talking about these issues, remember he was vice president. He was there as a vice president when he was talking about these issues. Who was he pointing to? Because we got to COVID during the period of the current president. It means things were happening under his watch, and he was querying with a lot of people. And they found an opportunity, and he is down. So we'll continue to fight, we'll continue to speak about the liberation of Africa. We believe that one day Africa shall be free of